And I'm sure that this beautiful leopardess needs absolutely no introduction. It is indeed the queen herself, Madame Karula. Now, yesterday she gave us the slip away. Apparently she went all the way south of the Traverse and perhaps did a bit of a walkabout, didn't find anything, and now she's on the most northern boundary. Isn't that exciting? Now she's perched herself beautifully up on top of this termite mound. But she hasn't got her cubs here. Perhaps they are stashed away somewhere. Maybe she needed a little bit of a break from them. As we've seen, they can be quite boisterous and energy consuming for a poor Karula. But isn't this lovely? Now, I'm glad that she's popped her head up a few times because she was sleeping. And I know it's not the lions that we found, but I'm happy. I'm very much enjoying Karula. I think she is beautiful. And she reminds me so much of a leopard down in the south that I was very fond of. Her name was Lisbon. And they sort of have pretty much the same mannerisms. Enjoy sitting up in trees, enjoy sitting up on termite mounds. And just very regal. She's lovely. She almost looks a little bit the same as well. But different. Same, but different. That's a very famous saying in South Africa. We tend to say that all the time. You can see how she's just turning around, looking over her shoulder. Like I said, I think she's a little bit traumatized from the last few experiences she's had. Oh, give us a big yawn. Oh, lovely. I think she's going to get on the move. Hello, big girl. Oh, look at that stretch. Isn't that beautiful? I'm going to snap 1 or 2 shots of her for my beautiful Karula collection. And it is actually building up quite nicely. Isn't that beautiful? What an incredible cat this is. Now, I'm hoping maybe she has dropped her cubs off. You can see she doesn't look particularly fat, and that she's going to go on the hunt for us. So we're definitely going to stick with her. So I'm going to turn around very quickly so we can try and keep up with her. Right. That's lovely. Brian, are you happy to see a leopard?
I'm very happy.
Brian and the thumb are extremely ecstatic, just as I am. Oh, no. Taylor, what is going on with you? It's like I need to... I'm not winning today. I don't know why. Between the squeaky brakes and me not being able to drive. No, we'll get there. We will get there. I promise. I'm not... Okay. We'll just hold the key in a little bit longer. I'll practice this afternoon. That's what I'll be doing in between drives. Thanks, Karula, for not racing off. Jigger, you are definitely an interesting character. Right, let's get Madam over here, who's going to cross the road. Now, don't lead us through too thick vegetation. Now, hopefully she's going to find herself something like a little steenbok or a common duiker, so we'll give her a bit of room because we don't want to startle the antelope. If she does try and if she does see something, you can see her just disappearing through there. She's on a little game path. I'm going to just keep the engine running because I'm going to have to keep going. Now, I'm just trying to see what her next move is. Are you going to go and scratch on the tree? Let's see. I think she may mark up against that tree. Having a little sniff. You can see, head right down on the ground. So now I need to try and find a way in here because otherwise she's going to disappear. And we may lose her. Come on, Jigger. I'm going to have to head over this little tree over here to get in. Just going to reverse quickly. Right, sorry little tree, but I know you're going to bounce back up. Sorry everyone, everyone's now trying to get hold of me. Mike, please make your approach. She's now mobile sort of south. We're just on the fire break on the western access to Buffelshoek Dam. Right, let's go through here. She's right here. Sorry, she's coming right up to the vehicle. So I'm going to turn the game drive radio off very quickly. Look how she's marking right here. Hello, beautiful. And she's just slinking past her. I'm just trying to duck so you can see her. Off she goes. Hello, beautiful girl. There she goes. Now, we're going to have to do lots of off-roading today, which is going to be fun in between all these bush willows and terminalias. It's quite thick, so we're going to try and find the clearest route. However, don't know how clear it's going to be. Okay, right. I think we're going to have to squeeze through here. Brian, are you ready? So I apologize if I don't always chat to you as I make my way through here. Going to have to do a little bit of concentrating as Karula can maneuver through this area a lot easier than I can. You can see her just walking through there. Ideally, I want to get up in front of her, but that is not always possible. Go sneak through here. There's another termite mound coming up. Perhaps she's going to go and perch herself on top of that. I'm going to have to just quickly zip around her. So hard to get through here. Okay. Oh, Brian, watch the thorns on the right. That's a nasty one. We're going to have to duck and dive underneath this little bit over here. Are we ready? Duck. So none of us gets our heads hit. That's a wonderful English today. Apparently, I've just woken up, but my brain hasn't quite got up just yet. Now, where are you going to go next? To try and follow her again. She just goes wherever she likes. Gonna roll forward. So she's pausing every now and then. You can see her just moving through the leaf litter to sort of scan. You see that? Look at how that tail sort of twitches. I love that. That reminds me, it's like her brain is working. Her brain is thinking. So she definitely looks like she's looking for something to eat. And there would indeed be a lot of common duiker and a lot of steenbok around here. Now it's getting very thick, but we shall persevere. Jigga, are you ready for today? Jigga, you're going to have to look for all sorts of things, right? It's also making it quite difficult that it's just us following her. Okay, let's go through this little gap here. Sorry, Brian, with all the trees. Oh, well, at least they're not thorn ones. Just got to make sure that we don't lose the aerial. We've got all these sorts of things. Good. Well, we're as good as we're going to get. Go slowly. Another one. Watch. This is not a nice one. Take that. Off you go. Right, we'll try and keep going. Very difficult now. I can't see the queen anymore, so I need to pick up the pace slightly to try. And she, like I said, she goes in and out of these bushes very easily. It's a little bit more difficult for us. Where did you go? She was coming in this direction. Okay, now I've completely lost her. I don't know where she's gone, but we're just going to try and stick in the direction that she was going, and hopefully we'll catch up to her. Oh, there she goes. I've got her. Okay, let's go over this. She's just slinking down ahead to us into this drainage. Now, it's an area that leopards love to hunt, is the drainage lines. It provides a lot of cover. Now we need to just find a little way through here. It's probably not going to be the most beautiful and elegant driving that you've seen. However, I will do anything I can in order to show you. That's not going to work. It's a bit thick. I think we're going to have to try. There she goes on top of the mound. I think we're going to have to try. Let's go through. Let's push through here. Jigger's probably done much worse before, but that's what these vehicles are built for. They are tough vehicles that are capable of doing anything. I'm just going to get whacked by the thorns. Okay, and I've spotted my route, and I need to try and keep with it. Are you ready, Brian? My goodness. Luckily, they're not big trees. They're just lots and lots of little ones. Good, Jigger. You can do it, Jigger. Oh, good girl. She's sitting up there. I'm going to go around her again so we can get her front on. This is, goodness gracious, this is off-roading 101. Hi, girl. You thought you could avoid us? Ooh, there we go. Sorry about the squeaky brakes. And we've got Herbie again. Now, she's moving quite nicely. We're back on Hyena Road again. We're almost on Hyena Road. I just had Herbert driving past. Now, what are you going to do now? She's just going to slink in between from termite mound to termite mound, using it as a vantage point. And if she does that, and you see how in between she's marking territories too. Now, something that I absolutely love, and I'm so glad that Curious One has brought it up this morning. You're wondering if I also think that leopard urine smells like popcorn. Yes, it does. Particularly from a male, I find that this scent is way more prominent, and I often slam on the brakes to have a little sniff. It's beautiful. It's something that I like. Brian and I were actually discussing different scents, and he quite enjoys the musty smell you get from an elephant bull, as well as from the waterbuck, and he loves the sweet, stinky scent of the wild dogs. Now, there's another creature that also has a scent like popcorn, I'm going to carry on going to try and keep up with her, very much like the leopards do, and that's genets. Is that genets as well? When they urine, it will smell like popcorn. Now, you see, there's a lot of sickle bush here, and I don't want to drive over the sickle bush because I know that will end up in having a flat tire. Sorry, Brian, I have to sneak over here and try and get around and keep up with her again. Okay, and I'm going to go over this one. Actually, Brian, do you mind if we sneak under this quarry tree? Right. Let's see what caterpillars come out underneath this. We're going to do a little bit of ducking here. But then, Roy, it's just, my goodness. Now, I always wonder if while you're watching this, are you also ducking as we duck underneath the branches? Karula, where did you go? Where did you go? Did you see her? She keeps doing this. She keeps disappearing just out of my... Oh, there. She's at the next tree. Okay, thank goodness. It's proving quite difficult to keep up with her. Wait. That was a big bump. Karulakins, can we just slow down the pace a little bit here? I'm just going to duck so you can see her over her shoulder. Here she is. Where are your children? Where did you leave them? It would be nice if you could go and find them for us, please. Look at those markings, though. They are so beautiful. Oh, there she is. Just slinking past us. Okay, it seems as though she's possibly going to go back to the road again. Please go back to the road again, because it's a lot easier to follow you then. Going to just turn the vehicle around so we keep up with her. I need to very quickly update the sighting as well. Mobile's Karula's not mobile, sort of south or west, southwest down Hyena Road. It's just myself here. I turned my radio off for a little bit, just so we could appreciate her. Here she is. Please stay here. Don't go into that drainage line. Now, remember, We just drove this road, and do you remember how many impala we saw? So I'm hoping, though, that she's going to come across some of those large herds of impala that we saw probably only 15 or 20 minutes ago. It wasn't too long. I don't think they would have gone too far. So I'm going to give her quite a bit of space, because you know that the impala don't like me too much. And Morning Glory, I know that you are having a good chuckle at me this morning about how Karula is giving me a crash course in how she travels. And that's why I say she's very, very similar to that other leopardess I was telling you about, Lisbon. She did a very, very similar thing, where she would move in and out from Termite Mountain. She'd go up a marula and stand and have a look. It was quite beautiful. Karula's just off in the distance. I'm going to try and stick on the road, because I don't think I'm going to be able to maneuver to where she's heading to now. Have a look here. There we go. You can see her again. Twitching that tail. Thinking perhaps there's something in there that we can't see. Well, she's just going to have a look. Like I said, we're going to keep our distance now, because she's moving into these nice drainage areas, like I said, that are filled with steenbok, filled with impala and common duiker. And as soon as they hear us crashing through the bushes, those antelope will become very suspicious, and I'm sure that they will race away. We don't want to ruin any attempted hunts for her. So we'll just give her quite a bit of room here. Hopefully we won't lose her, because she likes to disappear. As Morning Glory said, look at that tail. Isn't that beautiful? How it twitches like that. And that is so typical of them when they do start to hunt, or when they show any interest. They will twitch it around like that. Now, I'm not sure if she's seen anything, though. She hasn't started sort of crouching. She's just sitting, having a look. Can you see the Natal spur file just down to her left? It's just walking in front. Look at that. Oh, it's a crested Franklin, sorry. She's completely not bothered by it. Catch it. Catch it. She must have seen something else that she's not bothered by, that crested Franklin that was literally inches away from her. Perhaps there's something else in there. You can see that tail working quite a bit. I must say, I think those Franklins are some of the most fearless birds. We've seen them going up to lions. We've seen them walking inches away from leopards now. They're a lot braver than I am. Something else caught her attention. If she only knew that she had to go another 50 meters or so, maybe even a bit further, and she would come across about 50 impala that she could choose from. But I'm very excited to stick with her this morning. Hello, beautiful girl. She is lovely. She obviously appreciated that comment as she gazed back towards us, and I think she's watching the Franklins now. They're moving past her. Off they go. They've just gone out of the screen to the left. Very brave birds. Bye-bye. You got lucky, because if those cubs were around, I don't think you would have been so lucky. Now she's giving herself a quick groom. Look of the paw. She's going to come back towards us now. She's going to rest for a little bit. And you won't believe it, I can hear those southern ground hornbills again in the far distance. Isn't it so lovely that we know that we've got this beautiful family that lives around in the area and that we occasionally see? This is quite typical, though, for leopards to sort of start and stop throughout their hunt. She's marked her territory in between. She's sort of doing quite a few things on her long list that she needs to do today. Just need to very quickly chat to Andrew. I think he'd like to come to this sighting. Okay. Let me quickly chat to Andrew. Yeah, go, Andrew. If you'd like to make your approach, you're welcome to. Just come straight down Hyena Road from the cut line, from the Volsel cut line. You'll get my visual. Having a good groom. Just checking that there's she got a thorn or something in her foot while going through the treacherous drainage lines. And we've been seeing her marking her territory quite a lot, and it's something that is quite astounding to me. And it's a question that Robin P. would like to know, is do the cats ever run out of urine while marking their territories? Now, I've never seen it, and I don't understand how they can store so much urine in their bodies as well. It's quite impressive. If you've ever followed a leopard from waking up to going out on a full territorial patrol, which could last hours, they constantly keep marking. So I've never seen them run out before. It's the same thing with rhinos. It blows my mind how they're able to urine spray and to quite large quantities as well. So that's quite amazing how they're able to do that. So no, I don't think so. I think at some point, yes. But I don't think it runs out very quickly. I suppose when you rely on marking your territory with urine, you must have some special ability to be able to keep producing it at quite a fast rate. Just giving herself a good clean. Well, I'm glad that she settled down for the moment, though. It was getting quite tricky in trying to follow her. But perhaps she will continue. We can only just sit here and wait and see. I don't think she will be down for too long, though. I think she's going to get up after she's had a little bit of a groom. When Herbert found her, she had her eyes closed on the termite mound. So I think she did have a little siesta already. Remember, if you have perhaps just stumbled across us, or if you've only just tuned in, we are live. This is all happening right now. And if you'd like to ask any questions, myself or Jamie would happily try and answer them to the best of our ability. And you can do that by either hashtagging Safari Live on Twitter, or alternatively, you could send us an email, questions@WildEarth.tv. I'd love to hear from you. Having another look back at us. Now, I'm sure you're probably wondering why I don't go a bit closer, because we're quite far away from her. We're probably about 50 or 60 meters away from her. But I don't think there's any need. I think we can just take a little bit of a long distance view of her, and perhaps then if she does get up, maybe she comes and walks straight towards us like she did earlier. I don't think it's always necessary to get up close and personal. Sometimes it's nice to take a little backseat view and just gaze from the distance. But we are spoiled, aren't we, with the leopards and the lions, how close they come to the vehicle. Now, something that amazes me is that she is able to drop her cubs off and she, I don't know, I would lose them. If I had to drop my cubs off somewhere, I don't think I'd ever remember where to go back and find them. Now, Andrew wants to know, how well do the cats know their terrain? Now, Andrew, just with the statement I've made, they know the property like the back of their hand. She's an older girl. She has been traversing this area for many, many, many years, for much longer than I have even been in the industry for. So she will know favorite spots. Remember, she marks certain trees on a regular basis, and it sort of becomes inbred, like how we have to go out and learn the roads. She'll do the same thing, but she's been doing this for many, many, many years now, and it's just incredible. So I think by using things like the markings, the scent markings that would have helped her initially, finding her way around when she left her mother, and now she's the queen. This is her land. She'll know everybody and everything that comes onto this property as she's walking and picking up all the different scents. Must be an overload of information at times. She's settling down quite a bit now. Come on, girl, we would really like to see a hunt. I haven't seen a leopard hunt in a while. I believe you did see a leopard hunt not so long ago, though. And I'm mistaken. Was it Karula? Maybe you can help me out a little bit. I think it was while I was on my holiday, my vacation. And I think you got to see it with Brent. So who hunted the common daker? I'd love to hear as to who exactly that was. Perhaps it was Karula. Maybe it was somebody else. I'm not certain. But that is something quite special to see. And I'm so glad you all got to witness something like that. Here we go, big girl. No. Just changing sides. Cats spend quite a bit of their day grooming themselves. Whenever they get that opportunity, normally it's just before they wake up. I think we're going to hang around with Karula just for a little bit longer. And I'm going to keep close eyes on her and make sure she doesn't slip out of sight again. So we've got Karula again. She's up. And we've just spotted some impala. It's going to be very difficult to try and show you because they're behind some very thick vegetation. I just saw a few tails swatting the flies away, but they're not far. The impala may be about 50 or 60 meters away from her, and she's got lots of really, really good cover. So I'm going to let her try and get into position, and I'm not going to do too much moving. I think we've got a good spot for now, but I'd like to allow her to get a little bit closer. See how she's going to, she's sitting down, she's just watching. She's waiting for the perfect moment. And that's the key when you are hunting, is patience. I mean, a hunt for a leopard or a lion could go from taking 2 minutes to 2 hours. It's a lot of planning involved, and she knows she's got 2 young cubs to think about. And ideally, if she can catch an impala, like we've seen, they feed on it for a good 3 days. Gets her off the hook for a little bit. So we're just going to hang tight and just see what she does, what her next move is going to be. She's got incredible eyes, though. I can't believe that she spotted those impala from where she was, because they are behind such thick vegetation. And I think it is that those big herds that we saw earlier, perhaps they've moved further up north now. We saw there were plenty impala. Now, can you see them there, bro? So it looks like a fallen tree. If you go a little bit further right, they're all down in here. Like I said, they're behind very thick vegetation. So we'll do a slow little pan and see if you can't pick up the movement of the tail. There we go. You can see a few legs. You see that? There's one there. Now there seem to be lots of them here. She's still waiting. The impala, like we see them do, they're feeding, walking in circles, going forward, going backwards, going left, going right, trying to pick up on as much food as they can. Oh, there's a big herd of impala Come on, girl. Oh, my word, they're being chased by an elephant. Look, the impala, there's an elephant now coming through the bushes. Look at that. You see the elephant coming through now? Now, that's exactly where the impala were. I wondered why the impala all of a sudden picked up their pace. And thank you, Brenda, for letting me know that it was indeed Karula that did the live hunt. Maybe we'll be lucky enough to see another one. Now, that's quite interesting. This is now unfortunately going to ruin the plan of Karula's hunt, or perhaps maybe work in her favor. Maybe that elephant, as he comes moving through there, he chases the impala towards us, or towards where Karula is waiting patiently. Sorry, I'm just trying to move out of the way here and watch what's going on around us. I need to keep an eye out on that elephant, of course. See if we can... No, we can't roll any more forward. Like I said, I don't want to start the vehicle and make too much noise. I can't see where those impala have gone now. I'm just trying to have a little look through all the bushes. That elephant doesn't even know that she's here. Not that a big elephant bull would be really worried about a little leopard. May chase it away, but I don't think there'd be very much trumpeting like we often see, and we have seen when the elephants encounter lions, and particularly the breeding herds tend to react far more towards the presence of a cat than a big elephant bull would. Come on, Karula, what's your next plan? Her patience is incredible, though. Brian, can you see where those impala went? I also can't see. Oh, okay, I see one moving now. They look like they've changed direction a little bit and seem to be coming towards us, but not by much. But they're a little bit further ahead, sort of where Karula is, just sitting a little bit further down from where she is, and then straight to the right. They're all in there. Well, there's also quite a bit of sort of ups and downs. The terrain doesn't seem to be too flat, which would also work in her advantage. And if she just sat where she was now and laid flat on the ground, I don't think those impala would even see her. You can see the elephant has now moved off completely. I just saw his ears disappearing down into the distance, which is good. Lots of birds also starting to chit and chatter in the background as well. And it's warming up. I'm going to have to take my jersey off soon. See how she's pricked her ears up again? She's listening. I think she's seen that elephant, though. That's, I think, what Karula is now looking at down in the distance. Now, if I were her, I would actually get up and run a little bit further forward because she's got plenty of cover. I don't think they would see her, and when she walks, she almost walks so silently that you wouldn't even hear her. There's a bit of a breeze as well. I think that's possibly what she's a little bit worried about, is that the wind seems to be swirling very slightly at the moment. And if she does move, perhaps she's worried that her scent is going to be blown straight down towards those impala, which she doesn't want. You know, the impala have got very, very keen senses, eyesight, hearing. We don't want that to give the presence away of Karula. Her tail doesn't seem to be as jumpy as it was earlier. I think now that she's seen what she's interested in, she's going to sit quietly and wait. Sorry, you may have heard Louise chatting away there. Hello, Louise. And you heard exactly who Louise is talking about. Andrew, good morning. Andrew would like to know, what is the risk of infection if a thorn does get stuck in her paw? Now, Andrew, they're very good at being able to remove the thorns from the inside of the padding of their foot. They've obviously got those lovely hard bristles on their tongues, and if that doesn't work, then she can always try and actually use her teeth and physically pull it out, which we often see. So infection-wise, if she can keep that wound clean, so if she keeps licking it, I think she'll be fine. It's not really too bad. But, I think it's always hard for the animals to try and look after a wound that's in a spot where they cannot reach and they can't keep licking and they can't keep clean. That elephant is disappearing into the distance again. He's just crossed the road. I don't know if we can see. He just crossed over there and down he went. I think that's what Karula was having a look at. So even with that, the male lion had an injury on his face. The Mfumo. Well, he must have been very frustrated that he wasn't able to keep that wound nice and clean. And I think if he could have, if it perhaps was an injury on his paw, if he had something similar on another part of his body that he could have kept clean by licking, I think it would have healed a lot quicker too. But they are so resilient, these animals. They fight off diseases and infections all the time, much better than we as any humans could. Obviously, we have the help of medicine. Now, I can see that Andrew I can hear him, he's coming up behind me. So what I want to do is I do want to just get us into a better position. So I'm going to move forward now. The impala seem to actually have changed their position again and have moved away. So let's quickly just try repositioning so he can also get a little bit of a view. Hello, girl. Just going to pull up over here. And you can just see her. Andrew is Maningi Mala. Yeah. I'm just telling Andrew about all the impala that are just in the distance. So we don't want to move around too much. Obviously, we don't want to scare the impala. But now I can't see the impala anymore. I think they've moved further into the bushes. They don't know that she's here. But you can see she seems to be a lot more relaxed than what she was. Oh, now I've spotted an impala again. She hasn't, though. She's fast asleep, but they're not far. Like I said, she's got great cover here. Let's see what her next move is. She's looking a bit tired now. I can even see a warthog. There's a variety of different animals in the bushes, so it's a perfect opportunity for her. Now she's looking over her shoulder. No, look straight ahead. You'll see a warthog. You'll see all the impala. Come on, girl. Look back at us. You're missing out. There we go. Now you can see those ears have pricked up again. I think a big warthog could be a little bit too big for her. She's got a clear view now of the impala. She's looking straight at them. She's even got a termite mound in her favor that she could sneak right up to, so I'm not sure why she hasn't decided to sneak around. But we will be patient. You know, that's the only thing that gets us through sightings like this, is just sitting, keeping your fingers crossed. Lots of patience. Starting to get a little tongue-tied again, so I just need to have a very quick sip of water in case you hear me gulping down something. Come on, girl. Thumbs up to the thumb. Well, Anna Marie, you heard your question being asked live, and Brian heard it loud and clear as well. We apologize. Some of the voices seem to be sneaking through the little mixer box. But Brian says, thank you very much. And I'm sure the thumb is very happy with that comment too. You've probably made the thumb's day. So thank you, Anna Marie. Now, Karula, you would make our day if you went and hunted something, because you have got a choice between venison and pork. Now, which one would you prefer? That's something we're actually going to be seeing a lot of too. Now, she's going away. Sorry, we're going to be seeing hopefully a lot of warthog piglets soon, which means easy snacks for the leopards and the lions. Sorry, that was me whistling. I just wanted to let Andrew know that she was about to walk right behind his vehicle while he was trying to reverse through some bushes. And off she goes. Now she's going to go down into a very difficult spot here. But hopefully it'll be easier now with Andrew being around, that we can play leapfrog and he can help us try and keep up with her, because it's going to get very difficult. So let's go around. Let's go up a bit further on the road.